Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January the 8th, and this is the Futures in 5. Taking a look at the ES, I'm using an interesting tool here that MotiveWave has. It allows us to use any kind of moving average that we desire and tell us where the relative drift is, whether bullish or bearish. You can see from the ES, we've been bullish for a while, since December the 18th. This has been a very, very nice upward motion. This region here is very important. This area here is a region of very thin volume, so we are likely to bounce into this zone and then really run into a bit of trouble, stay a little bit sideways, and then make some action. Be very careful on the moves up. You certainly can see very nice price action, but our ride upward here should get a little bit noisy as we take a look at things. So up above 74, 75, going to be in good shape all the way potentially to 91. That's going to start giving us trouble at about 84 to 88. So you want to watch for that in the ES. It is going to be upward motion. Same sort of thing for the NQ. It's right here. It's moving a little faster than the ES, and so it's right up here on its edge. You can see this volume pocket here that's much thinner, and off to the side we can see this region filling in, and again up towards the thin volume event we're going to see things get into trouble, whether it's 65.80, 65.90, 66.09. It's going to be a slow, steady climb up into those spaces. Don't try to pick a top here. There's too much bullish momentum. Look at the slope of this moving average. This is an adaptive average that I use. That's a little bit on the tighter side, and you can see that we've got a tremendous amount of bullish pressure forcing the chart up. A lot of people thinking that this buy the dip event is what the storyboard is. As you know, this is not my thought. My thought is we're coming into resistance and we're going to bump into significant trouble up towards these spaces. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, same sort of problem, as it were, breaking out very nicely up over the space into congestion. Whether that number is 806, 926, or up in the 24,000 region, we are going to bump into a little bit of trouble here. That's just the way it works, all right? And so you want to watch those edges. If you decide to buy these breakouts, you want to be on very tight time frames that tell you that the buying pressure is drying up. And you'll notice that by the inability to break higher. That's what's going to happen. As long as support holds, we'll have more upside. But the moment support breaks after the inability to move higher, we are going to run into a pickle. So you want to be careful that, unless you love pickles, and then that's something totally different. But what we are seeing is a little trouble. Coming into oil, I talked about the same thing. I said, hey, listen, watch this 49.77 area. That's going to be a problem. Coming down into this zone looks to me like it could come all the way into the last area and really essentially the opening range this morning. It could easily do that. If it loses this 49.10 area, it can easily drift down into this region. Could get a little bit noisy in general here. There is a lot of resistance this chart has up in this zone, and this is an auction vacuum, so if it holds, it's going to rocket up into these areas, up here. And that's where we're going to see trouble. All right, let's take a look at gold. Finally, take a look at this thing. It is breaking down a bit, but here's what these adaptive moving averages tell us. They tell us, listen, I've been moving upside and I'm breaking. So if I'm breaking, the first thing I ought to do is try to find support and recapture that area. What's it done? It's found support. It's trying to bounce. How do we know we've got further downside? We pop all the way up to our 84/88 level and we fade. Or we lose this 81 area, come down into the congestion, bounce, and then fade again. Here's the big problem though, in terms of levels. This number at 1278 is a big deal. Notice the last bit of buying here. It was monstrous. Took us right up, gave us the lower high. My thought is this chart has itself a little bit of a drift to the downside, but it might take us a couple of days. And as long as it holds this region between 76 and 80, it's going to have more upside. That is the futures in 5. Good luck trading today.